So, what's going on, guys? This is Alicus. I'm out here in Tempe, Arizona. Woo! I don't normally like to give people my location. I don't know. I feel like I get nervous sometimes. Like, oh my God, what are people going to see me? Oh my God, I don't want people to know where I am. I like privacy sometimes. Okay. But the message I'm getting right now, that I really feel called to come out here and share, is called Stillness Speaks. Okay, Stillness Speaks. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the concept hung by the tongue. Okay, so a lot of times in life, when the outside is not how we want it to be, it's because a lot of times we've been resisting it. And a lot of times because we're not being vulnerable with ourselves. So we're holding all those emotions inside. We're pretending it's not there. We're pretending the problem doesn't exist. Pretending like we're not aware of where we are. So we keep resisting, and that resistance creates persistence. And then we get in life, and when we don't want to, we're judging ourselves, we're shaming ourselves. So like we start talk. We just want to talk because it makes us feel comfortable. But in reality, what we should be doing is being quiet. We should be asking questions. Okay, because when we ask questions, we learn, right? When we're still, the answer's already there. You already are the answer you're looking for. But a lot of times we want to just talk. Here's my problems. Let me complain about this. Here's another concept I'm going to add into this. It's called look for the gold. Okay, look for the gold. Sometimes you got to dig through some dirt to find it, though. You got to dig through some dirt. But we don't want to do that. All I see is dirt. There's no gold here. There's nothing to be thankful for. I'm a loser. I'm a failure. Why would I even try? And then you go walk down the street, and then you'll see someone that they don't have food. They don't have. They don't even have legs. Like you'll see, and these are beings of love and light, just like you. We all are. All right. But we'll see that sometimes it takes, God putting us into humbling situations for us to humble ourselves. When we exalt ourselves, we will be humbled. That's what the Tao Te Ching says. And when we humble ourselves, we will be exalted. Okay? When we humble ourselves, we will be exalted. Okay? And this is why, having this period of time through my transition of my spiritual awakening, going through this ascension process and stepping into my truth and knowing who I am, it's been quite difficult for me to like actually go out there and allow myself to flow, because I'm afraid I'm not gonna be perfect. Because if I'm a messenger of God, which I am, if I'm a messenger of God, the one to all, I gotta make sure I'm in alignment, because otherwise I'm gonna project something or I'm gonna like say something wrong, or like I don't want to, I gotta be perfect. But it's not about being perfect. We're not perfect. It's not about that. Who we really are comes from perfection. All right, we're God's, greatest form of, what is it called? We are God's highest form of creation, Alex Murda says, right? David and Benita. We say we're God's highest form of creation, okay? So what that means is we're pure potential, right? We have infinite possibility. So within that possibility, at the core of who we are, which is love, which is presence, which is peace, which is unity, we already know. Okay, and I had this experience about 8 months ago. I was really resisting my reality. I got myself in debt, and I was going back to my parents' house after achieving 6-figure income, success, traveling the world. I go back to a humbling situation, and I was resisting it, and I was being humbled. And I didn't like where I was. And I was really I was hating myself for it. I was stepping out of my comfort zone. I was going to meet with people, but I didn't want them to know I didn't have money. And I was oh, this is, I'm resisting it. And it's but it's I need help, but I don't feel worthy to ask for help, or maybe they're not going to teach me for free. So I got to hurry up and make money so I can finally learn. So I'm what? Come on, dude. And I kept going back and forth with that pattern. And then I was screw this, dude. I'm tired of this. Well, let me just, I'm going to get myself some plant medicine, because I've heard, because people around me were telling me, it helps you heal. It helps you heal and helps you connect to your soul. And I'm okay, I want to do that. I definitely want to do that. So I'm okay, let's do it, dude. And I was meditating. I was meditating at the time, and it's I needed something else. I needed something more strong, something more potent to really break me open, to really break me out of my shell, to really make me feel like myself again. So I was okay, I took it. I took some golden teachers, and I set my intention to release everything that's not me, to make room for what is me to shine through. Set the intention to connect with my higher self and know who I am and what I'm supposed to do. Because at that point I was just done. I was just really done. I was I don't want to do anything. I was I'm tired of shit. I'm tired of trying to figure this out. I'm trying to make money so I can feel good about myself. Fuck this shit. I'm done. I surrender. I quit trying to figure it out, God. Let me just show me. Just show me. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn. I surrender. I said, just show me everything. Just show me everything because I don't care about anything else. I know I'm here for a fucking purpose. I just don't know what it is. What the fuck is this shit? And I said, okay, let me just fucking sit here and take this. Let me just strip everything. You know, and there I am. I sit there in my laptop and I have, I'm playing all these frequencies. I got the crystals all around and like I'm laying there and I'm crying my eyes out. Like I'm really crying my eyes out in a way, and I think a part of me has held shame for even doing that, for crying, because I was told growing up that if you cry, you're a baby. You look at you, little cry baby. Yeah, I was told that. I think it was like older brother or friends or I don't know, family, whatever it was, and they're like, dude, you're a cry baby. Why are you crying? Here I am, a Cancer, sensitive, emotional, feel everything. I'm crying as a kid. It wasn't even that old. But it's like, where did we learn that, guys? Where did we learn that it's not okay to cry? Like, guys, over these last, I don't know how long, days, weeks, almost every day I cried 5 to 10 times. 5 to 10 times a day. It's just like all day it's because I love myself. It's because I know who I am. It's like I remember who I am. And it just feels so good. It just feels so good. I know who I am. I know my past lives. I know why I'm here. I know what my purpose is fully to 100% degree. Like what I'm here to do, and I'm doing it. I'm doing it to the best of my ability every day. And I'm in difficult situations. And that's part of it. That's part of it because it's like my mentors and Academy told me. Nothing grows in your comfort zone. One of my mentors said, "Diamonds form under pressure." Okay, so I believe you, me, the next person, we are all diamonds. We are all diamonds. We are all diamonds. So our higher self, I believe, puts us through pressure situations to form us into the diamond that we really are. Okay, which is the physical embodiment of our higher self. Okay, that's what we're here to be. That's what we're here to be. We're becoming gods in physical form. It's called apotheosis. We're becoming gods in physical form, right? Or God actualized in my body, God actualized in your body, God actualized in the next person's body. But the thing is, with this ascension process, anyone can make it, but not everyone's going to make it. I'm going to just be real with you. I'm just going to be real. Because those that choose fear, those that fears run over them, over this whatever time, decade, 5, 10, 15 years, you're not going to make it. And I don't want to sound like pessimistic, but not everyone's going to make it, okay? The ones that are strong-willed. Okay, there are people here right now, probably you watching it. Odds are, if you're watching this video, you probably came here for a reason. You probably came here to be a part of this. And you know deep down, if it's resonating with you, that you're watching this for a reason. You watch this for a reason, straight up, because this is why you came here. You came here to be a part of this ascension process. You came to be a part of what's called the heavenly earth, right? Heaven on earth, the golden age. That's why you're here. You're here to help create that. You're here to play your role. You're here to put in your puzzle piece to the puzzle. That's why you're here. Okay, that's why you're here. Okay, that's why you're here to play your role, to achieve your dream. That's why you're here. Why would you be? You're not here to just do what everyone else is doing and be like everyone else. No, you're not here to be a robot. You see, human beings, a part of being human, guys, is expressing our emotions. Right? Do we want to end up like the Greys, where they completely mold into technology and they no longer have a conscious ability to express an emotion? No, we don't. Do we? Or do we want to be more like the Arcturians, like the Pleiadians, right? Those that beings of love and light that can feel, right, and are so psychic as fuck. They're teleporting and they reading minds and using telepathy, right? So I was getting these downloads earlier that it's like the new word, we won't even have a dictionary. Like I was like, how limited is our physical reality because of the dictionary itself, because of the definitions we use to describe words. Like I said, words are just labels, and labels are limitations. Okay, so it's like we really are limiting ourselves with the words we use. Okay, so who are we listening to? Where are we getting our thoughts from? And why are we speaking what we speak? Okay, that's the real thing. Because when we're speaking is what we're creating at the end of the day. So who are we around? And why? Who? Right? A lot of times, see, look, the thing is, this is what I believe. That we all have the potential to grow and flower into our truth. Okay, and different types of plants grow at different rates. You got the rose petal, you got the goddamn violet. Right? And then you got the bamboo tree. You got the bamboo tree. You see about the thing is about the bamboo tree. You see, I'm a bamboo tree. I believe maybe a lot of you are a bamboo tree as well. And you planted the seed a long time ago. okay? And you've been growing. You've been making a lot of progress, but you haven't seen any progress yet. You're like, dude, I've been doing all this work on the inside, but why is nothing on the outside? Why is nothing outside there yet? Oh. And then you're like, wait a sec, but if you've heard the story of the bamboo tree, there's this guy. He planted a seed in a garden, okay? And then for months go by, the neighbors would come by, dude, what are you doing? Why do you keep watering the soil? I mean, nothing's growing. Like, dude, what are you doing? You're just sitting there meditating. You're not taking action. You're not doing anything. You're just being lazy. You need to go get a job. Okay, that's what I've been hearing. That's what I've been hearing. There I am watering the garden. Okay, watering the garden. Years go by. A year goes by, nothing in the physical is showing. It's just, I'm just broken, homeless. Okay, nothing. Well, what's gonna happen? How is this gonna work? Nothing's gonna happen. Okay, and then the family comes in, gaslighting. People, the friends from the past. Oh, well, look at you, da 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 da. Look at you. I mean, you're, haha. What a, people will laugh. You see, first they laugh, then they'll copy. Okay, we don't want to be ostracized. We don't want to stand out. But in our reality, guys, we know who we are at the deepest core. We know who we are at the deepest core. We didn't come here to be brainwashed and controlled. We didn't come here for that. That's not why we're here. We did not come here to be brainwashed and controlled. What we came here to be is to be sovereign beings of love and light that are speaking our truth and living our truth. That's why we're here. That's why we're fucking here. Does that make sense? You know that. You know this, man. You know this. So stillness speaks. You see, when you speak, you're redirecting your thoughts. Speaking creates thoughts. So when you listen, you receive thoughts, okay? So when you receive thoughts, it gives you more information. And then when you grab a pen and put it on paper, you journal, the thoughts keep streaming in, okay? So first you guide your thoughts, then your thoughts guide you. First you guide your thoughts, then your thoughts guide you. What does that mean? Well, think about it. When you are writing down blue ink, white paper, blue ink, when you are writing down white paper, blue ink, okay, blue carries a higher vibration than the other colors, and its perception is reality. Okay, so to raise your vibration, use the color blue with your ink. Okay, so you're writing down white paper, blue ink. You're writing down what? What are you writing? You're writing to redirect your thoughts. You're not just writing, oh, this is a thought I have. You can start with the thoughts you have. That's part of self-vulnerability. I'm having these fears. This is the worst case scenario right now. This is the resistance I'm feeling. Okay, so now what? And then you redirect your thoughts by what? Asking questions and listening. Ask yourself questions. I learned this from one of my mentors. Shout out. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to goddamn Jordan. Like, he told me, this is like one of the greatest things, probably the greatest thing I've ever learned. To be honest, like if I could say, like, if there's one thing that's changed my life more than anything, it's just the concept of asking myself fucking questions. Like, I never thought, like, I've journaled for years. I had never thought to ask myself a question. What? And that's what it is. It also, see, the answer is in the question. So a lot of times we just complain, this is going wrong, why is this happening? Well, why is this happening is the question. We could start with that. Okay, why is this happening? Well, because I'm afraid of this. Why am I afraid of this? Well, and this is part of the shadow work process, okay? You can learn more about doing shadow work here by, looking at the description and clicking the link below. You can book a call. Or you can drop a question in the comments below, and we'll get back to you and, give a little bit more detail, perhaps give us more information for future videos, and things like that. But man, think about it. Like, if you're being still, you're listening. Whereas if you're talking, you're redirecting thoughts. So whenever you do speak, make sure you're speaking to create, you're speaking to, maybe tell a story, or you're speaking to ask a question. That's how the most effective one-on-one communicators, actually go out there and communicate, about asking questions and listening. Okay, so what are you thinking about, and why are you thinking about it? Okay, think about it. You thinking about it because you saw it, or because you heard it, or because you said it. Okay, a lot of times what you're speaking, almost all the time, what you're speaking is coming from what you're thinking, and what you're thinking is coming from what you're seeing or from what you're hearing. So you got to do what David Benitez says. You got to guard your eyes, you got to guard your ears, and you got to guard your mouth. You got to guard those three things. That means guard. That means you got to make sure, okay, what am I putting into my eyes here? Hold on. Do I look at that? And then a lot of times we walking down the road, that's how I've been observing myself. I've been observing myself walking down the road, and sometimes okay, I want to be friendly and I want to talk to people, but then are they going to say, I'm just walking on the street, are they going to approve me? Are they going to acknowledge me when I talk to them on the street? Or am I just going to walk by and look like a weirdo? You know what I mean? I'm just what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? And then what happens is a lot of times, when I just smile at them and I don't care what they think, then they always smile back. They smile back, and even if they don't, it's not about what I'm getting back. It's about what I'm giving. Because even later on down the day, they're like, damn, okay, you know what? what happened good today? Oh yeah, there was that one guy in a SpongeBob shirt that smiled at me and said, I love you, you're beautiful, even though I was having a bad day. That shit goes a long way. Little random acts of kindness like that. That shit goes a fucking long way, man. Like, that shit goes a long way. So, man. So it's like people pleasing validation. So what I was saying was, like, what I realized, a little cheat code here of being still, is to how do you get out of your head and into your heart? Like, really, sometimes that shit's hard, bro, because you're so up there, you don't know what the fuck to do. Well, the key is to keep moving. Okay, this is a concept that I learned from Kevin Trudeau. It's called, keep moving and the enemy cannot hit you. Whereas when you dig your foxhole, you've dug your grave. Okay, so what that means is hesitation kills all action. Hesitation kills all action. So whenever you hesitate, oh shoot, should I do this or should I do that? Well, it's because there's a program running. So what is a program and why is this shit running? Well, think about it. You're in momentum. You're creating, right? You're giving value. You're doing your thing, right? And then something happens is you're human. You experience a new realm in your reality, something you're not comfortable with, something you never experienced. So what happens is you hesitate. Am I good? And then it's because it's a programming. Well, am I good enough for this? Or what is people going to think? Or this and this and that. Okay, so that's what the program is. Okay, so the key is you don't hear the program if you're moving. You only hear the program when you hesitate. Okay, so it's those little moments. The key is to stack up momentum. The key is to stack up momentum, because the thing is, success creates confidence, which creates activity, which creates success habits, which creates success. So when you're in a failure momentum cycle, when you're hesitating, how do you create momentum? You have to set the bar low. Okay, and this is the thing that us overachievers, us perfectionists don't want to fucking do, because we're too stubborn, right? We don't want to set the bar low. We got to make this huge jump. I got to go from 0 to 1,000,000 because look how many times I messed up in the last week, in the last month, in the last quarter, in the last year. Look how many times I messed up and I didn't do it right. So we got to make this big jump. But what happens is we make this agreement, oh yeah, I'm going to do this in the next month, I'm going to do this in the next week, and it's way too big of an agreement, you're not going to keep it. Okay, so how can you set the bar low as fucking possible? Like, I swear to God, because look, this is why you got to set it low. When you're setting the bar low, let me give you an example. Like, let's say, for example, you want to talk to people, right? Or you want to recruit people, or you want to prospect people on the street. If you're just walking on the street, okay? So this is what I've experienced. Like, I've been having this resistance. I'm like, am I selling something, or am I talking to people? Like, I don't even know. I'm just like talking to people just for no reason. I just feel like I'm just having fun and just being myself. I'm like, okay, what am I doing? But what I realized was, whenever I would go out prospect. I think I experienced this back in network marketing, back with IM Academy as well. I would go out there, I'd set this agreement, okay, I'm going to talk to 5 people today. And then I'd be like, I'm not hesitating, I wouldn't do it. But what I've realized recently, so having that background experience of being network marketing, building 6-figure income, and doing that in IM Academy back there and creating an empire of over 500 people. So when I actually experienced that, I realized a lot of times, what would take me out of momentum was setting up this huge agreement. Oh, I got to get 1,000,000 people at this event, or 100 people on this call, whatever. It'd be too big, and then you wouldn't get it, and then you would break the agreement. So then you go into a failure momentum cycle. You spiral downward when you break agreements. Okay, so what I've realized, even though I'm not actually actively recruiting something necessarily, but what I'm doing is I'm walking through the street, and I realized, I was like, you know what, I want to talk to people, and I want to like invite people to maybe an event or a presentation or something, of something, I want to invite people to get value, whatever. But then part of me would be like, okay, but what am I going to say? What am I going to tell them? What am I even going to invite them to? I don't know. So what I realized was, to create this momentum, to set the bar low. How do I set the bar low? I don't make an agreement. I just have fun. I just walk up and I say, I smile. I smile at them, and then that's it. And then I smile at 3 people. And then next thing you know, I talk to the 4th person. I just say hi. And then I talk to the 5th person, hi. I never made an agreement. I didn't have to. And then the next time and I just smile, and then a conversation happens and occurs. Okay, and what happens is I grab my pen and paper. Ooh, I learned. Okay, so don't make an agreement. And I write it down. And then the thoughts keep coming in. So what I realize is, God gives his ideas to those who take action on the ideas that he actually give you. Okay, so when you get an idea, you're like, oh, that's good. But then you don't do anything. What happens? You lose the momentum, and then there's nothing shit's coming in because you're afraid to act. Okay. So how do you actually get in that state where you can receive that intuition and guidance? Is by moving in any direction to get started. Okay, to get started, sometimes you just gotta move in any direction. And this I realized with timelines. Is that whenever you're in like a stuck place, you just gotta take whatever action you can to get yourself out stuck. Okay, I've been there before, multiple times. You just gotta take some action at all. It doesn't matter even if it's not what you really wanna do, because it'll get you to the point where you can then hear about the thing that you actually here to do. Okay, or the thing that's more aligned with who you really are, what your actual purpose is. Okay, so that's why sometimes you just gotta take some action at all just to see. Sometimes, when you get an idea, it may not be like the greatest idea in the world, but it's an idea. So as long as you take action on it, you're gonna get another idea, okay? But what happens is we're like, when we analyze, we get the idea, I could do that. Well, maybe I could do this, or I could do this else. And then we sit there thinking, writing down this, that. It doesn't fucking matter. What are we thinking about? There's nothing to think about. There's nothing to figure out because you already are. You already are that which you seek. So what do you want and why? Okay? And at the core of who you are, you already know the answer. When you really get to the point of spiritual enlightenment, of ascension, you don't even have to ask the question anymore because you already know. You see shit before it happens because you know it's all here right fucking now. It's not what's out there. Nothing is even out there. There is no such thing as out there. It's all here, right now. Everything out there is you. So the key, what is the key? The key is surrender. The key is self-love. The key is taking care of yourself. When you take care of yourself, the rest takes care of you. Because the rest is you. Everyone and everything is your reflection or your projection. Everything. Your perception is your reality. Your perception comes from how you are looking at things. How you are looking at things is your perspective, which comes from your own past experiences. But what happens is in our past experiences, specifically traumatic ones, what happens is trauma gets lodged in the body. Okay, so we're vibrating trauma. We go into a new event in our life. People come back. They'll shit on us. They'll trash talk us. They'll gaslight us. Right? Whatever. What does it do? It triggers a trauma because it was laying dormant. You pushed it down. You pretend it didn't happen. Okay, so someone comes in to trigger you again. So what the question is, if you really are aligned, why are you getting triggered? Because, there is this other trauma you didn't realize was there. That's why there's layers to this shit. There are layers and layers and layers. But understand, when something is triggering you, that's telltale sign there's a trauma that must be released. So what's the easiest way to release it? Cry. Cry like a motherfucking baby. So like if you always crying, you like, okay, I already cried once or twice a day. Let me cry a third time. And that's how you can make room for who you really are to express. Okay? So if you were a teacher, you're teaching. Okay? But if we're not, there's a program running because the program is connected to the trauma. The trauma is connected to a past experience, and that's what it is. Okay, but the thing is, it's not always easy because we don't want to do that. We don't want to let go because we go unconscious and we unconsciously identify with who we think we are based around our past experiences. That's what our ego is. It plays in familiarity. It plays in the known. It is the conditioned self. You see, but you're not your conditioned self. You're not your experiences. You're the presence experiencing this moment. And your true self is divine presence, is love, and is a part of the one, the all, the infinite creator. That's who you really are. Pure potential, infinite possibility, a unique perspective, your own puzzle piece. And when it's put into the puzzle, it creates a ripple onto the world, and we create what is called heaven on earth. Because when heaven on earth is experienced within the individual, and enough individuals experience this said heaven on earth within themselves, it creates a ripple into the rest, which creates a spillover effect in the collective consciousness, which is described with what is called the 100 monkey syndrome. So the 100 monkey syndrome, there was researchers off the coast of Africa. There were 5 islands off the coast of Africa. And one researcher on one of the islands decided to do an experiment. He wanted to see if the monkeys, what they were doing on one island, affected what the monkeys were doing on the other islands. Okay, so what this researcher did was he grabbed a sweet potato in his hand, dipped it in a stream of water, and ate it. Okay, now the monkeys, mind you, on this island and on the other islands in that area off the coast of Africa had never performed this task. They had never grabbed a sweet potato. They've never dipped in a stream of water, and they've never ate it. It's never been done. Okay, completely never been done before. Okay, so what happened was quite magical. So after a few days of this researcher grabbing a sweet potato, dipping in the water and eating it, 5 monkeys joined in, then 10, then 15, and the next thing you know, all the friends kept observing what the one monkey did, the original guy, the researcher did, okay? Or in other words, you could say it's kind of a comparison to like ETs coming in human form and being the example for the rest of humans. It's the same shit. The researcher being an example for the monkeys, okay? And then 50 monkeys joined in, and then a certain number, a spillover hit, a certain percentage of the collective consciousness of the islands off the coast of Africa have performed the same task. Then what happened was those thoughts, the thought of grabbing a sweet potato, dipping it in a stream of water and eating it, got into the collective mind or the ether, and then were received by the other monkeys on the other islands. And then something miraculous happened. All the monkeys on all of the other islands at the same time performed the same task, even though just weeks, months before, they had never done that before. How did that happen? And how did it happen so fast? Right? There were no researchers on the other islands. No. It's because it don't have, even though we're not connected physically, it may not appear that way. We are actually all connected energetically. Okay? And that's why everyone is our reflection. Simple. So I'm going to tell you one more story and I'm going to end it off. Roger Bannister, okay, in the 1960s, there was a collective belief held by humans that it was physically impossible to run a mile in under 4 minutes. It was a belief. The doctor said your heart would stop, you would break your legs, it just wouldn't happen. It's impossible for a human to run a mile in under 4 minutes. You see, Roger Bannister, however, he came in and said, you know what? No, I'm going to be different. I'm going to be the first one. Woo! I'm going to be the first one. And what happened was, when Roger Bannister ran a mile in under 4 minutes, weeks later, just weeks later, even though until that day, no one had ever done it, weeks later, dozens and dozens of other people in years, hundreds of people have now ran a mile in under 4 minutes. Why did all these people suddenly get the physical ability to do so? It's because they got their mind to believe they could. Okay, and sometimes people just need to see someone else do it first for them to believe they can do it too. Okay, so that's what Roger Bannister had done. And I believe every single one of you watching this, you have your own genius within you that only you have. And you have your own unique way that no one else can do it like you. And when you do it, you will make everyone else believe they can do it too. And that's what I believe you watching this are a centerpiece to your own puzzle. Okay? For the people in your life to fill in their puzzle pieces to that puzzle, which is your collective consciousness, which is your culture. Okay? So if you'd like to learn more about how you can put in your puzzle piece to the center of your own puzzle, so that the people in your life that you are here to serve can go ahead and find their way, right? Can go ahead and find their way to put their puzzle pieces in. Then what you can do is look at the description box below, click the link, schedule a call, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Have a great night.